when life is turned upside down. Our homeschool schedules can take a real beating. You'd think that being homeschooled, that our schedules would flow pretty easily into always being at home. But, at least for some of you, your schedules are kind of like ours, and things have just kind of been torn to shreds or blown up, or whatever phrase you want to use. And while I'm specifically talking about the current quarantine situation, the tips I'm going to talk about today can really apply to any time you have upheaval. A job loss, a move, etc. In my last video, I talked about kind of the view of the bigger picture, the forest from the trees type of thing. So ending our school year strong when everything's upside down. And how do we make the best of the end of the school year and not just crashing and burning, running out of steam? Again, whatever dramatic phrase you want to use. I've got many. So that was the last video. Today we're going to zoom in more and talk about our day-to-day scheduling. Get a little more focused on how we do this day-to-day stuff when everything feels the same from day to day and when nothing feels the same. So in my last video, I kind of took the larger view, the viewing the forest type of look at the end of our school year and how we still end it strong when so many things are unknown. And how do we end it strong? Something I've talked about before. When we're struggling for energy and focus and don't just let ourselves run out of gas or crash and burn or whatever dramatic phrase you want to use. I have many that I like. So that was the last video. Today we're going to zoom in a little more and just focus more on kind of the day-to-day stuff and how we schedule our days when every day feels the same and yet none of them feel like anything went out. So my first piece of advice is to do what works for your family. Truly. There is a lot of stuff out there. I've seen so much on Facebook that, kind of purports to say, do what works for your family, but when you really zoom in on what they're saying, it's more of but here's the best way to do that. Here's what should work for your family. Life is all out of whack right now. I don't have to tell you that. And so maybe what works for your family is a really rigid schedule, because at least something will feel normal. There is routine and knowing what to expect out of that. But maybe what really works for your family is to have something completely relaxed and something that goes with the flow and more of a kind of planning from behind schedule, or planning, I don't know if we would call it a schedule, but planning from behind, where you kind of go through your day and at the end of the day you write down what it is you actually did. We've been doing a mix of this. I kind of talked about this last week, I believe. I don't know where. Maybe on Facebook. That's kind of, because I sat down to work on my planner and I don't even know what to plan because I don't know. It feels hard for me to plan a week out when so much can change in a week. So, truly do what works for your family. And what works for your family today may not be what you need every day, or maybe not be what you need next week. So allow for that flexibility. That as things change, especially as the crisis worsens, that maybe you will need a more rigid approach to keep yourselves distracted and knowing what to expect, Or maybe you'll need something far more relaxed that's all about cozying up with each other. So that's number one. My second tip would be to don't forget about the weekends and the evenings. We don't have anything else to do, right? So not necessarily that you need to add more to your school, though you can if you want. My daughter and I joke that maybe she could go ahead and start on her junior year of school, because what else do we have to do? But it's not necessarily that. It's more just that you could take advantage of those and have a more relaxed week too. So if you don't have other things going on the weekends, then maybe you have a slower paced school week, or weekdays, and then extend it onto the weekends, or carry it into the evenings. Things like, of course, audiobooks as a family, or read alouds make great evening activities. When my husband is gone, we'll often do our history readings over dinner. Because I'm not usually hungry at dinner time, so I usually have a small dinner later in the evening when my husband's gone. So I'll sit and read while they eat, and that works well for us. You could, depending on your home, have some picnics in the living room while you watch documentary or whatever it is. So kind of think about the ways you could expand things. Saturday afternoons, I know we don't really have, weekends are kind of meaningless at this point, but Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon spent creating art would be a nice way to spend a lazy day. So just keep in mind that you can take advantage of those weekends and evenings in order to have a slower paced school day or weekday. On the screen you can see what is working for us right now, and that is a block scheduling. What happens during these blocks each day might vary from day to day, week to week, but the blocks themselves don't really change. So this is like with my boys specifically. My daughter, she's 10th grade and she just kind of does her own thing. But so for my boys, the morning from 9 to 11, we switch off of computer and independent work and then mom work. And computer stuff can include things like our online spelling. I'll leave a link below. I've done a video about that. Typing, logic, that kind of thing. Also includes current events, reading. They can do some coding if they have extra time. There's various things that they do during that time. And then their independent work is things like cursive, geography workbook, Latin, those kind of things. 11 to 12, we always do history and science. We will do that on the couch, and it's kind of a nice segue before we break for lunch and break. And then in the afternoon is our online stuff. Music lessons are still happening for us, and we do them over Skype. Speech is happening for us through another online platform. So those are in the afternoon. Our church and the children's director is doing a daily thing with the kids over Zoom. So all of that happens in that 1 to 3 chunk. And that one is a little flexible. Sometimes it's more like 1:30 at the end of the day. As you know, I should have said this if you are new to me, these times they're just rough estimates. I would really say it's more of a routine than like an actual schedule. But this is roughly how the times work. Because I do have to have some times down or things go really poorly. But these are all rough. And then 3 to 5 is kind of a quiet time. That's when I sit down and do work. Boys can have screen time, etc. And then we break for dinner, or then we have dinner and family time. And then we move into bedtime stuff, quiet time, reading, showers, all of that. And this block scheduling is something that I had started about 8-ish weeks ago, maybe beginning of the year. It depends. I'm not really exactly sure, but it's been a while in the making. But it's just enough flexibility for me that we're getting stuff done, but I feel like it's not super structured and super rigid. And then within this, I'm kind of combining it with the plan from behind approach, where I may not know exactly what's going to happen during so-and-so's computer time or independent time or mom time, but I'll write it down as we go. And at least I'll know that something is happening. Now you can go check out the video on your screen. It's my last video about kind of planning for the end of the school year and making it a strong ending even when life is up.